All right, the game we are going to be presenting today is called Floorball. Now, floorball, not to be mistaken with floor dash ball. Um, Floorball is spelled Floorбall altogether, and what that basically looks like is hockey. You know, you got regular ice hockey, but basically, floorball is when you take that indoors. So no ice skates, you know, tennis shoes. Usually played with a pickleball. Right, so going into that, and also it uses traditional hockey sticks. In regards to the origin and the history of floorball, there's actually speculation of if it either came from Canada, the United States, or Sweden. To be honest, I think the real answer is somewhere in between. It just depends on what you would consider the original game. Um, so, a brief history. Yeah, the first official game, like official like referee game, was played in Sweden in 1968. But there is record that it was being played as early as 1950. Um, the very first adaptation of the game was called Cosmo Hockey in the United States. That is because there was a company that was popular for making the sticks required for floorball, which is basically hockey sticks. The first official club came to be in 1976, and then by 1989, Sweden eventually started a league and had enough players to have their first official tournament. So basically, that's a brief synapses of floorball. It really exploded in the Europe first, especially in Sweden, places like that, Norway, Czechoslovakia, stuff like that. But it's really played all around the world. Okay, so the basic starting point that I want the class to do is everybody get into a straight line with their stick and their ball, right? The floor ball is played with a traditional American pickleball. Uh, so in a straight line with your ball, just focus on when you hit, focus on where you're aiming, focus on having the correct grip on the stick, whichever works best for you. Um, After that, I will do that for 15 minutes, and then next we are going to ask the students to line up across from each other. So everybody's going to have a partner, and then with this, I want you to first practice uh, dribbling the ball. So controlling your stick, controlling your ball, and then controlling yourself as you move, and then take your ball straight to your partner, and then they're going to take it back, and then you're going to repeat that process for about 10 minutes or so. Just make sure you're keeping your stick low. There's something called high sticking that is considered illegal whenever the blade of your stick reaches above your knees. And then finally, the official game is played with either two teams of three or two teams of five. Now, that can vary depending on the setting. This is a very interchangeable type of game, perfect for non traditional. Um, the goalie will be on their knees and then will have to block with their hands and their body. Um, Another thing to be sure is that slashing is a big no-no in regards to the sport and in regards to the rules. What slashing basically is taking your stick and then using it to manipulate anything else other than the ball. So you can't take your stick and like hit somebody else's stick out the way. Also, you cannot put your stick in between other people's legs. In regards to like your foot actually can be used to pass the ball, but only one time in a row. So what that looks like is if you use your foot to pass the ball one time, you cannot do that again unless you make contact with the ball with your stick first. And you cannot shoot with your foot, only pass. After that, I think it's important to understand and know that typically the typical official game is played in 3 periods, with 2 10-minute breaks, and yeah, it's a fun sport. Um, it doesn't require much gear, and let's go on to the quiz. Question one: Floorball was organized in Switzerland. Is this true or false? And that is worth 1 point. Question two: How many times in a row can a player pass a ball with their foot? 2 points. And then, when was the first floorball club established? Um, True or false question. Goalies play on their knees and block using their hands and body. How many sessions of play are there in a standard game of floorball? That's worth 2 points. And then, for question number 6 worth 2 points, explain slashing.